Hello everyone, Nick the DM here, and I am back in familiar territory in the Abyss. Yes, after my deep dive into the entire lore of demonkind, I've been wanting to continue, informing the masses about each variety of demon. So here we are. Today I present to you a complete guide on the mains. So let's get into it. Once a chaotic evil mortal soul reaches the Abyss, they become a petitioner. In most cases, these petitioners arrive in the Abyss in the form of an abyssal larva. Lucky larvae might be promoted and transformed into powerful tanar'ri demons, but most are turned into mains. Sometimes it's said petitioners immediately turn into mains upon arrival to the Abyss, skipping the abyssal larva stage. It just depends on the source you're looking at. Mains can be a term for a singular demon or a group, like fish. So you can say a mains or a group of mains. But some sources also say main singular, so either one is fine. Mains are one of the least tanar'ri, the lowest caste of this subspecies of demon, along with the dretch and rudderkin. In fact, the mains are the least of the least tanar'ri, the peasants of the Abyss, so to speak. In some cases, scholars and demons alike don't even consider mains tanar'ri at all, and many still consider them petitioners. Mains are pale, pasty creatures that stand 3 feet tall on average. Their bodies are bloated with rot and rancid gas. Their hair is sparse, and their white-gray skin is riddled with oozing sores filled with maggots that eat their flesh. Yet despite their stature, Fiendish Codex 1 Hordes of the Abyss states that they only weigh 15 pounds. Their eyes are a filmy white that show the barest signs of sentience, and drip disgusting liquids, and their claws and jagged teeth betray their feral nature. Each individual mains vaguely resembles their mortal form, but the shock of the transformation from mortal to petitioner is overwhelming, and the pain is so great that a main remembers little of its original life except that it has lost something precious, and that feeling is enough to drive the creature to violence and madness. Those mortals who have entered a pact with a demon lord and promised their soul manifest on that lord's lair upon their demise, usually as a mains. Many abyssal lords sacrifice a portion of the souls dedicated to them in order to maintain a hold on their abyssal lair. Other times, the lords press these souls into service in massive armies for battle against the Beatezu or other demons. Petitioners who haven't made a pact with a demon lord are said to arrive in the form of a larva on the 400th layer of the Abyss, the Mountain of Woe, where they will be judged by the Naufeshni that rule there. Spirits with little promise become mains, fit only as food or supremely expendable soldiers. In the Abyss, mains are viewed as sub-tanar'ric and scorned by everything there. And as I said earlier, like larvae, mains are still considered petitioners, according to some sources. The most wicked, and perhaps the luckiest, mains who manage to survive the harsh environs of the Abyss often spontaneously evolve into more powerful tanar'ri, such as rudderkins or dretches. The most powerful of those often ascends to the ranks of demons that are, to some, actually considered tanar'ri, such as vroks or succubi. Some of the mightiest demon lords in the Abyss started their afterlife as a lowly petitioner. Other than ascension through survival, mains that perform well, or perhaps are just in the right place at the right time, can be promoted by a higher-ranking demon. Demon lords may also promote a mains into a quasit just because it needs a spy, or another type of demon just for the fact that they need a task to be done quickly, with no regard for how the demon has performed in the past. Such elevations are rare, however, for most demons are destroyed before they attain significant power. Zanzos the Blue Slad and Planar Traveler/Scholar says that 1 in every 1,000 mains becomes a Dretch, and a Dretch will rise to become a Rudderkin. This is contradictory to other information that claims there isn't a strict order to the ranks of tanar'ri evolution. Some sources say the mains can be spontaneously formed by the abyss itself, stating that, if a demon dies while it is in the abyss, it is dead forever. The corpse is sucked back into the abyss and eventually spit out in the form of a mains or some other lesser creature. A demon that dies on the abyss is too close to the source of its power, too close to reform and try again. The pull of the abyss is just too strong. This could likely mean the soul goes through a similar process to the one a soul takes when becoming a petitioner in the first place, with the side effect of removing the soul's memories. It is also said that a demon whose spirit is destroyed just has its body wither away without feeding the abyss. Other sources say that if a tanar'ri demon is defeated anywhere in the planes, it will find itself drawn back to the abyss only to reform as a least tanar'ri like a mains. Of course, other sources claim this information is false or support other theories, though I covered these in my complete guide to demons video. Mains are nearly mindless demons devoted to savagery and fury, too witless to communicate in any capacity. Some sources say they are literally too stupid to understand commands, while others contest that mains cannot speak, but can understand basic concepts spoken in any language, due to their limited use of tanar'ri telepathy. And yet other sources claim that, though they respond to their master's commands in Abyssal, their shrieking babble only barely approximates speech. In any case, adventurers who have faced an attack by these creatures learn to fear that shrill din, whether it forms words or not. According to the Planescape Monstrous Compendium Appendix, this mindlessness worked in their favor, for they were immune to mind-affecting spells. Mains obey the commands of any demon more powerful than themselves, including blindly plunging into battle, heedless of any danger and recklessly sacrificing themselves to assist more powerful allies. They are slow, stupid, and largely ineffective combatants, but in large groups they make good use of their numbers to swarm targets. Mains are the detritus of the abyss, contributing nothing but their own pitiful hate to their surroundings. These demons can appear anywhere in the abyss. They are sold as slaves or food in abyssal cities, used as couriers and battle fodder, hunted by more powerful demons for sport, or simply left to wander aimlessly, seeking an end to their horrid non-lives. Often mains are even used as currency between evil spellcasters and evil outsiders. On many layers of the abyss, mains are encountered in staggering numbers, though thankfully individual encounters with these demons have been reported to usually consist of smaller packs, from 6 to 15 individuals. Mains travel in gibbering, snarling hordes when not given a higher purpose by a more powerful demon. Although physically weak, their hatred drives them to attack anything that isn't a demon. Demon lords see them as a widely used, expendable fighting force. Unaware of their positions in the Blood War, the mains have no way to improve the cruel treatment they receive. Many demon armies contain vast mobs of thousands of mains used in the front ranks to wash over an opposing force, much in the same way a controlled fire can be used to assault a large army. Though in some cases they can only temporarily form a regiment, as they eventually wander about aimlessly, paying no heed to orders. Sometimes they even attack when such a tactic does not favor their army, but that's fairly common in War in the Abyss. At one point recorded in history, mains that were formed into legions were made to carry maces. The problem was that mains quickly forgot how to use the maces, dropped them, and fought instead with claws and teeth. More than that, mains do not understand the concept of treasure and therefore do not carry any with them. Despite their wretched nature, the 4th edition Demonomicon claims that these lowly creatures possess a trait greatly feared by others of their kind. Of the many varieties of demons in the Abyss, mains are the most likely to be spontaneously consumed and reborn as demon lords, through a process called spontaneous ascension. I went into more detail on this in my Demon Lords video, but essentially, spontaneous ascension is when the Abyss itself decides it needs more Demon Lords for one reason or another, and grants one lucky demon a fast pass to a unique form with unique powers. Knowing this, existing Demon Lords go to extreme lengths to keep the population of mains in check, typically by ordering them into battles they have no chance of winning. When the Blood War rages on, it is common practice for tens of thousands of mains to be sacrificed in a single engagement. During those rare periods, the Blood War has been put on pause due to extreme cosmological circumstances. The population of mains increases dramatically. Packs of mains without masters have been known to band together for security, and demon lords and their lieutenants keep an eye out for such creatures, dispatching them quickly. Once a mains is slain, it bursts into a cloud of noxious, acidic, stinking vapor that, in some editions, would poison or damage those near it. After 24 hours, the vapor would simply reform into a mains once again. However, mains are given the dubious honor of serving as the primary food source in the Abyss, which is all the more insulting considering many demons, depending on the source material, don't actually need to eat. When a mains is eaten, it is destroyed utterly and will not reform. So, desperate adventurers may have to take drastic measures to ensure their own safety. Like many other creatures, mains have had a number of different abilities throughout the editions. In Advanced D&D 1st edition, a +1 or better weapon was needed in order to hit and actually damage a main. They had a 10% magic resistance in 2nd edition, along with immunity to lightning, non-magical fire, and poison, and resistance to cold, magical fire, and gas. Mains in 3.5e had immunity to electricity and poison, resistance to cold, fire, and acid, like all other tanar'ri, and a damage reduction to weapons except cold iron or good weapons. In 4th edition, mains had variable resistance, allowing them to gain resistance to either acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage once per encounter, and immunity to poison. And finally, the 5th edition mains were resistant to cold, fire, and lightning, and immune to poison damage, along with immunity to the charmed, frightened, and poisoned conditions. Way back in the Advanced D&D 1st edition monster manual, it was said that the most evil of mains were confined to the tiers of flames of Gehenna, which obviously isn't the case, as that lower plane belongs to other fiends, not the demons. But it can be explained away by saying that scholars were mistaken. Alternatively, in the Monstrous Compendium Outer Planes appendix, it was said that those mains who were particularly cruel and evil in life were confined to the pits of despair on the 400th layer of the Abyss, a mysterious place known only by name, for no sages or wizards have ever seen it. It's theorized that the pits are hidden high atop the Mountain of Woe, where the Nalfeshni lords of the realm determine the new demonic forms of the petitioners that arrive there. It was also said in Advanced D&D 1st edition that certain mains would be used to form shadows or ghasts, depending on their greatness of evil in material life. These were then sent forth by a demon lord or prince to exist on the material plane for a day. What I find interesting is that 5th edition actually further expanded on this, explaining that Orcus, the Prince of Undeath, has the power to turn a mains into undead monsters, most often ghouls and shadows, which in my opinion is just a great way to use source material and expand upon it. And there we have it, a complete guide to the lowliest of demons, the mains. This also marks the first step on my journey to catalog every demon known in the Abyss. I'm starting with the major ones, those who have been constants throughout D&D's many editions, so we're going to get into some really interesting demons very soon. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, you can like, comment, and or subscribe to show your support. Maybe let me know what demon you are the most excited to hear more about. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!